65 and 70 by 9 under mostly cloudy skies. Another windy, warm, and pretty mild day expected. We could see a few sprinkles. We'll talk about that, and we'll see how long that lasts coming up in a few minutes. Fox 44 News starts right now.
Everybody's been really excited. We have a very supportive community.
Coming up on Fox 44 News at 9, businesses across the state are back to 100% capacity. How bar owners are reacting.
Hardworking Americans have been for too long left behind and at ends today.
And the House approving a $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package. What Texas leaders are saying about the measure. Also, one pharmacy has partnered with a Central Texas town to get the community vaccinated.
Live from Waco, Temple, and Killeen, your news now. This is Fox 44 News at 9.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for Fox 44 News at 9. I'm Adam Hooper. Tonight, the first time in over a year, businesses are able to operate without a mask mandate. Fox 44's Jessica Rivera spoke with a local bar on what this means to them. Jessica?
Adam, the Tipsy Lion Bar and Grill says that they have never been open at 100% capacity. And when Governor Abbott announced that businesses can open back to normal, they said that this was a time to celebrate. The Tipsy Lion Bar and Grill celebrated the mask mandate being lifted by hosting a Toss the Mask 2021 event.
Everybody's been really excited. We have a very supportive community. And one of the biggest things is everybody wants to support each other, and any reason people can come out and just have fun again together.
The Tipsy Lion Bar will still follow safety protocols in the restaurant.
Our servers do still wear a mask when they go up to a table, and they will ask the customers, do you feel comfortable with me having a mask or without? Again, some people, they still want to wear a mask and have the right to wear the mask, so we want to still be able to make them feel comfortable, but
accommodate everybody.
This will be the first time that bar owners Nicole and Matt are able to open to 100%.
We opened at the last week of May, right in the middle of the pandemic. So that was, so we don't actually know what it feels like to be open at 100%. So we're really excited.
Being able to stay open without masks is a big deal for the employees.
Our employees don't even know what it's like to work behind the bar without a mask. A lot of them are first-time bartenders. And, you know, seeing someone's face, especially in customer service, that's huge. That's huge. So I'm really excited for them.
Bar owners Nicole and Matt said that opening back at 100% is a sign of relief for them. Live in the newsroom, Jessica Rivera, Fox 44 News.
All right, Jessica, thanks. Tonight, the Texas Health and Human Services announced people 50 and older will be eligible to be vaccinated beginning March 15th. Patients over the age of 50 account for almost all COVID fatalities in the state. Health Department says there's been enough of a decrease in hospitalizations for those in Group 1B to expand eligibility. The effort to vaccinate more than 4,600 school employees in McLennan County starts tomorrow at McLean Stadium. The Waco-McLennan County Public Health District is teaming up with 8 school districts and Ascension Providence to hold a weekly drive-through COVID-19 vaccination clinic. One local pharmacy has also partnered with the city of Belmead to administer vaccines to the community. Fox 44's Branchavia Jordan spoke to Lynn's Pharmacy to find out how you could be next.
The city of Belmead and independently owned Lynn's Pharmacy are teaming up to provide COVID-19 vaccines at the Belmead Civic Center.
The reason we're doing this is because we need to hug our grandchildren. We need to be able to hug our parents again.
Scott Everett is the operational manager at Lynn's Pharmacy, and he says the partnership started when he talked to the city manager of Belmead, inquiring about vaccines for first responders.
It was actually just offered to us that we could use the Civic Center in order to help provide the vaccine for local residents in the Belmead, Lacey Lakeview, and Waco area.
Everett says so far they have administered close to 2,000 vaccines, and the response from the community has been overwhelming.
It was just an influx of calls. We got voicemails. I've got folks applying online. I've had people coming into the pharmacy. We've reached out to some churches and got entire congregations, especially folks that are over, age 75.
Some were very over 75.
We have one that was 102, one that is going to be 100 in less than a month, and another one that's going to be 100 in October.
Everett says there are still a lot of people who have not been vaccinated, and the goal is to make people aware of the option, and they are getting the vaccines from several sources.
We've gotten some from the state of Texas. We've also been very fortunate to work with some good folks at one of the local hospitals, the Providence Network here, that has been fabulous in helping supply us.
While the supply and demand for vaccines are high, Everett wants to give the community hope.
Get on a list and you will get a shot.
Lynn's Pharmacy is working through their extensive list, but people can still register by phone, in person, or on the website.
The virus is not going to stop being a virus. It's going to be there. We need to get to the point where we can take care of each other, because ultimately that's what we want to do.
Brent Shavia Jordan, Fox 44 News.
Target says more than 600 of its stores with CVS Health locations, including in Texas, will administer COVID-19 vaccinations in the coming months. The two already work together on the flu and other vaccinations. Target will use its fitting rooms for appointments. To commemorate the one-year anniversary of COVID-19 shutdowns, President Joe Biden is expected to deliver his first primetime address since taking office. According to White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, it'll focus on moving the country toward getting back to normal. The address will air at 7 p.m. right here on Fox 44. House lawmakers passed President Biden's $1.9 trillion relief bill. President Biden says he plans to sign the relief package immediately. Democrats say this is a celebration. Republicans, they're calling it a sad day for the country. Fox 44's Anna Warnicki is in Washington with more.
The nearly $2 trillion COVID relief bill is now heading to the White House. President Biden says that he does plan to sign this bill into law on Friday, but Republicans aren't too happy about how this all played out. The bill passed both chambers without any Republican support.
In a party line vote, the House of Representatives passed one of the largest rescue measures in U.S. history.
We heard the American people and we went big.
Massachusetts Democrat Richard Neal says the $1.9 trillion relief package will help Americans and the economy bounce back.
Hardworking Americans have been for too long left behind, and that ends today.
Before the bill was even voted on, Democrats were claiming victory.
Today, with President Biden in the White House and Democrats in control of Congress, we can tell the American people help is on the way.
The nearly $2 trillion package will deliver another round of stimulus checks to millions of Americans, extend additional weekly unemployment benefits through the summer, and increases child tax credits.
This isn't relief. This is because you guys won the majority.
But Republicans say they were left in the dark and criticize Democrats for pushing through a bill that's more expensive than necessary.
You're playing politics. You're carrying forward an agenda.
It showers money on special interests, but spends less than 9% on actually defeating the virus.
But Democrats fought back.
This is bipartisan in America, even if it's not bipartisan in this chamber.
And say this bill gives many Americans hope.
Help is on the way.
This is the third coronavirus relief package that Congress has passed, and when asked if a fourth relief bill could be in the works, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi responded and said, "You're just going to have to ask the virus." In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki. Back to you.
No Texas Republicans in the Senate or House voted for the bill. Senator Cornyn called it a package of unrelated, wasteful, and downright partisan priorities. He hopes Democrats will work with Republicans on the next relief bill for Americans' recovery from the economic and health impacts of the pandemic. Congressman Roger Williams says the bill is a liberal wish list that only puts 9% of funds toward COVID-related relief. He claims the rest goes to bailing out blue states, funding Planned Parenthood, and paying for arts and humanities programs. The process to determine who will pay the cost of the billions spent on energy during the winter storm, that continues. Lawmakers are now pushing the Public Utility Commission to override $16 billion in charges. That's a lot. An independent market monitor for Texas says the ERCOT should retroactively lower electricity prices for the days after the winter storm. The monitor says ERCOT mistakenly kept those prices higher than they were supposed to be. The chair of the Public Utility Commission of Texas, which oversees ERCOT, said he was reluctant to go back and reprice the electricity. Since then, Governor Abbott named the ERCOT billing issue an emergency item for lawmakers, and 28 state senators signed a letter to PUC asking him to reconsider.
Let's just double check everything. Let's just be sure there weren't any errors made, that the bills were accurate and proper based on how the grid is constructed.
The action has to be taken within a certain window, and we're about out of time. It's got to happen now.
A spokesperson says the ERCOT is working with the legislature to determine the financial impact. The chair of the PUC is slated to testify in front of lawmakers tomorrow in a House State Affairs Committee hearing. Senate Judiciary Committee is also meeting to discuss the financial fallout from the storm. Both the PUC and ERCOT have board meetings this week. Coming up, the U.S.-Mexico border remains closed because of the pandemic, but migrants are still getting through.
This is Fox 44 News at 9 with Adam Hooper, AMS certified chief meteorologist Mike LaPointe, and sports with Matt Roberts.